Oh, Bobby. Oh, he's frozen. What up?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
What up? Bobby, you look sad.
Why we? I
You look
want to
sad.
go back to
You look
StreamYard.
sad. I don't want to pay $40 month.
Why?
Why? Because I'm cheap.
Just because you have some
What are
shitty.
you? Why do you want? Do you want to pay $40 a month?
Why do just because you have some shitty college show?
Do you want to pay $40 a month? Waiting.
I will. Yeah.
No, you won't.
Yeah. Well, because I had the power.
You still have the power.
You can't even see people's comments on here.
Because no one's fucking commented.
Oh, I see. Studio chat.
You know what? Yeah, you can't see shit because no one's commented shit. Bobby,
But
just
you
say
know
you're
what?
upset. You don't have the power right now. Say it. Say it. Bobby Galbraith. Just like you denounced Roman Reigns. I don't have the power. Say it.
I never denounced Roman Reigns.
I remember seeing a video that you
Proof.
denounced him.
There's proof.
There's no proof.
The proof is in the pudding.
There's no proof. Don't do it.
Proof. I'm not uploading it right now, but there is proof.
You're not gonna upload nothing. Okay,
I'll
we
upload
don't
what the
talk.
fuck
We
I
don't
want.
talk about that.
We always talk about it.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Why do you hate Roman Reigns, Bobby?
I don't.
Why do you acknowledge Solo as your tribal chief, Bobby?
I don't. I never had. But you don't want to like Solo.
What'd you say?
You the one that likes Solo.
Solo is your tribal chief.
No, he's your tribal chief.
Oh no.
But let's get to the real question. Why do you hate Darby?
It's not that it's a hate of Darby. Darby just isn't the guy. He's a hundred.
You know
He's
what?
100. Wait, he's
You know
150
what?
pounds, soaking wet, with a pocket full of bricks. He gets a reaction, then he breaks through some glass, and that's all he's got. He's not going to be the guy to carry the world title, especially that he's going to be on Mount Everest on April 15th.
Oh, because
He's not
the
even
guy.
part of this.
Oh, because a guy getting suplex on spikes is doing the same thing right now.
Well, that's the guy who's got his freaking ear in. He's in Tony Khan's ear, so.
Oh. You know, people like people like Brandon's are just haters.
It's you have that IWC mentality that because someone doesn't agree with it, it's a hate. It's not hating on the guy. He just doesn't
Dude,
have it.
It's a hate. It's y'all. You're hating. You just hate Darby. For some reason, it's so fucking weird. Darby's like the only Darby is like the only person that WWE fans and AEW fans can fucking agree with that they don't want as world champion. And
See, he's uniting. He's uniting pro wrestling. Forget Shane. He's uniting pro wrestling. I just don't see Darby as being the guy, and he's not going to be the guy to take it off Moxley. I think after the end of Dynamite last night, I think Swerve might be taking it on Sunday.
No, he's not.
And I think they're going to go Swerve and Hangman at All In.
No bueno. No bueno.
Brandon, see, there's something. See, I know you're new to this, but I'm true to this. There's something that you should realize about me. I tend to prove people wrong. I've done it to Brandon before.
You've never proved me wrong.
I have proved you wrong. Duffy, I've proven wrong. Orange Cassidy.
I was right. Still right.
Or you weren't.
Wait, what was said about OC?
He does not like, for some reason, fucking Orange Cassidy. And for the life of me, I do not know why. He doesn't feel like, he feels like Orange Cassidy is like a charisma vacuum. That the only thing that
Oh,
he does is has his hands in his fucking pocket, and his gimmick is like fucking tired. But like,
he's a
yet,
nice comedy guy. That's what he is.
I mean, his gimmick is tired. He's been doing it for 6 years without any change, but he can work when he wants to. He could work in the ring.
Oh, he probably hated Dean Malenko.
that no charisma guy.
Mr. Duffy is watching in the exclusive chat. Has yet to comment. What a dickhead.
I was almost said something, but I'm like, no, I can't do that.
No, he's mean. Well, should we acknowledge Duffy's clear absence and putting us on the shelf for 6 months?
No,
Good, because he's not worth airtime.
he's not. He who shall not be named.
He's our Chris Benoit.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
dark.
we're unfiltered, guy. You thought it was bad in the
Guy?
admin chat. Yeah, this ain't.
I was just saying that was dark.
Happy. This is a happy, positive show. Ain't that right, Bobby?
No,
I mean, no.
I'm not gonna be happy till I prove you right about.
You're not right. You're never going to be right. All right, so Bobby, I guess you want to talk about Booker T and Swerve, don't you?
Actually, Sure, let's talk about Booker T because he got a hand in a lot of stuff right now. Actually, this motherfucker. Somebody got feedback. Sure, let's talk about Booker T because
Oh my God, so it's not me.
Actually, this motherfucker. Somebody got feedback.
Damn, first show, Bobby.
That was me. My bad.
But yeah, let's talk about Booker T. What do you want to talk about?
I guess just getting the whole premise thing. Yes, he's getting shit on by Vlad TV. He's connected to some pedophile that just got arrested for was a violation of his probation from being a pedophile. And you got Swerve shitting on him. Ooh, Bobby, your best friend.
The fuck is a Josh Rudan? Is that like a Rudabaker?
And Josh, it's a friend. I'm the only friend down here. You probably don't like the dude in the bottom. He's just Patrick, but from Philly.
He's Patrick. He's Patrick. Stop.
What?
Oh,
Am I wrong?
Shut up. No.
Exactly.
Until this man has a microwave in his fucking room and makes macaroni and cheese
Without the cheese.
without the cheese in the fucking room, I don't want to hear it.
That's some like fighting thing. I still can't believe he like willingly showed that shit.
Well, I mean, you've been on here naked without a shirt on before, so you know what?
It's not naked, it's half naked.
Whatever.
Juan's out, titties out. You know what it is.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. The sex offender, Chase Rance, Chase, whatever. How do you say his name?
Oh, is that something? Whoa. Is that something that you didn't know about?
I didn't know who they were talking about. I saw the headline about him having a picture with a sex offender, but I didn't know who exactly you were talking about. I had to look it up. But yeah, I remember this picture came out like a year ago.
Okay. So because he's already addressed the rumors, so I'm just going to say this. You can never, let me just say this because I know I get ridiculous, but I'm going to get serious. You can never make me hate Booker T. Ever. What this man has been to me since my childhood, seeing him in Harlem Heat, seeing him in WCW, you could never, yes, Josh, you could never make me hate Booker T ever. And Booker T has already spoken on it. It was a misstep. He said it was a misstep. To his credit, he said that he doesn't, which, well, maybe he's going to start doing it, but he said that he doesn't check the background of everybody that he's invited to train to. So when he took the picture, he had no idea about whatever, because I don't even know what the fuck Josh Rance is accused of. To be honest with you, I've heard the name before, but I don't pay attention enough to him to know what the hell he has done. But I'm gonna say this:
Yes.
I've given my opinion, and I've meant what I said. Vlad TV is used as a tool by someone. What I'm going to say is this, and this is the only thing that I'm going to say. Vlad TV is like Meltzer to wrestling fans without the credentials, meaning that he tries to get information on certain topics that he has his ear to the ground to, but he has no fucking idea. And I'll keep it at that. And if you want me to explain, I can explain it off the show. And I got my reasons, and I know why I'm saying what I'm saying. Vlad TV makes black men look bad. And what Booker T said was right. That motherfucker, and he did, and I can't remember who it was, but the motherfucker, somebody off of his chat, legitimately got felony charges because of the fact that he was snitching on Vlad TV. Vlad TV sometimes will make black people look like coons. Completely honest, and he does that because that's his platform. He's a white man and he doesn't just interview black people, but the black people that he interviews is problematic. There's a reason that people don't go on Vlad TV. Booker T was 100% right in what he said about Vlad TV. There's a reason that Booker T didn't go on there, because he knew that Vlad was going to pit him against another black man. Look, I'm not saying that Booker T is 100% perfect, but my thing is this: it goes back to Swerve. Getting back on the topic with Swerve, you sound like a black Bret Hart, because every time that you go do an interview for AEW, you spend more time talking about WWE, what WWE has done, what WWE didn't do. You went on the Breakfast Club and you said how you were fired by how you you went on the Breakfast Club and said how you were fired by WWE. You went on another podcast and you explained how the money that you're making now is the most money that you're making, and that WWE didn't see the value in you. You went on another podcast and you explained why you don't get along with Triple H or why you don't get along with Vince. I mean, there's always it's starting to come. Maybe I can understand if you do it like maybe once or twice, but you're starting to become bitter.
And it's been 2 years. And what is he still talking about it for? It's been like 2 years.
And I'm done. I land my plane because I know I could talk about the subject exponentially, but it's right. It's been 2 years.
And Swerve has become a world champion a year ago. He's, like he said, he just signed a new 5-year contract. He's making all this money. Why are you still harping on being fired when you are in a place where you're much better off anyway?
To be quite honest with you, I don't think that he's satisfied. You can have all the money and you can have all the money and you can have all the fame, but let's be honest. Nobody wants to just breaking it down to sports. Nobody wants to play in the UFL when the NFL is right there. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, some people do.
Like who? The only reason that people play in the UFL is because they couldn't make it in the NFL.
I mean, there's people that are rejecting WWE to go straight to AEW for some reason.
And who? And you look at those people.
Kevin Knight.
And you look at one of those people, Deonna Purrazzo. I don't understand. Because see, this is Duffy's lane. I'm only talking from a fans perspective. This is like where it's coming from, Duffy's lane, because you look at Deonna Purrazzo. You just sent me something about, or Brandon, who I don't know which one of y'all sent me something. Brandon just posted in the chat that she's on Triller TV. She's on fucking Triller TV. Deonna Purrazzo has had no feud. They got too many stars They use the same stars over and over again. AEW, for somebody that proclaims that it's the best wrestling, they use the same stars over and over and over and over again.
What it was she's going on Twitter and she's saying that you could chat with me live during Dynasty. So you're not at the pay-per-view, but you're going to be playing on Twitter. And when was the last time she was even on AEW TV? Losing to Harley Cameron.
Yep. On Collision.
Mm-hmm.
The #1 wrestling show on Saturday nights.
I heard they're talking about moving it to Thursdays.
They are going to move to Thursday.
That's the right move. Once the NBA deal is up this summer.
That's the right move because you're struggling to get viewers.
Move to Thursday. Put your pay-per-views on Saturday going forward instead of Sunday, especially if you're going to do from 8 to like 1 in the morning.
Who?
AEW.
No.
Yeah. Put your pay-per-views on Saturdays.
No, because WWE would be petty and run shows.
And they already said they're specifically going to avoid WWE. They're moving anytime anything goes on a Saturday with WWE, AEW is moving it off. All in, they move till 3:00 in the afternoon. They're starting at 3 in the afternoon to avoid Saturday night's main event.
Yeah. Look at this, Bobby. He has enough time to comment in the chat, but not to rejoin us on Sundays.
You will not. I will never badmouth my friend.
You'll badmouth him by the end of the show.
I will never badmouth my friend.
I mean, he did get Josh fired for a bit from now.
That's because Josh was in the back. Never mind.
Brett colluded with Smash to get Josh fired for a bit. What else do you got?
Oh,
I know you got something in there. It's been a while.
Who?
You.
Oh, that's why I couldn't see. Okay. I thought you had an agenda.
No, you said let's fucking just go. Hold on.
I talked about what I wanted to talk about.
You just only want to talk about Booker T and stuff. No, he looks like Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
It's actually a Walmart Hawaiian shirt. It's not from Temu. It's from Walmart.
That's so weird. And you're like from Philadelphia, and you're wearing the damn Hawaiian shirt.
I'm from New York. Not that it makes it any better, but
help.
Like you said,
that's like me wearing a cowboy hat.
That's because you like village people.
Bro, YMCA is playing at the wedding.
I bet so.
Nah, we playing Macho Man from the village people.
Did you ask Abby if we could play Back That Ass Up?
Hey, you can ask. She's probably watching.
She's like, oh my God, what is that?
So there's a lot that's happened since the last time we were live, Bobby. Rumble happened. Cena turned heel. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
A lot of releases happened in WWE. I mean AEW.
Let's ask the new guy, Brandon.
Ricky Starks went from AEW to a champion in WWE.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Well, so did Ethan Page. Ethan Page won the world title on like his first match.
Ooh, Joshua wants us to talk about the Mania build.
Yes.
Okay, so, let's talk about Bobby. I don't think you spoke about this at all. What did you feel about the Gunther, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso from Raw?
It was an injection that was fucking sorely needed.
What do you feel about AEW fans saying that WWE is hypocritical because Gunther did that one little thing where he put a little bit of blood in his mouth, and then they're like posting pictures of when, Swerve and Hangman were doing that whole blood thing.
So here's the problem that I get that I hate from AEW fans, because you're good. You're good. Brandon. I gotta give you that because you already know where I'm going with this. Because you have been because you have shut down people in the group about this exponentially. Why are you doing this? Why are you gonna make me rant? Why are you just want me to rant, don't you? Because you why are you? Here's the fucking problem.
I want you to be the angry black.
When you fucking are bleeding every freaking week for no reason, and there's no reason for it, and you're bleeding in a match, just a Saturday night collision match that has no meaning. When you bleed every week, it does not add anything to television. This is not the 90s. You don't need to bleed every week. This isn't CZW. Moxley bled off of a suplex, I believe. It makes it less special. So when WWE does it, it means something. Gunther made Jimmy bleed. And not only did he make that boy bleed, he made that boy squeal. And not only did he, and hold on a minute because I know you're gonna add a lot to it. Not only did he make him squeal, the gruesome image of him having that dude in the sleeper hold and Jay not being able to reach out, that is what was needed because Jay needed that fire. Because Gunther was right. Jay Uso going to the ring, this is cool. But if you can't, but if nobody believes, forget the fact that this is kayfabe war. Let's just act like this. If nobody believes that you can beat Gunther, especially after you just had a match and this man beat you literally weeks before in Saturday night's main event, if people don't believe that you can beat Gunther, nobody's gonna want to see you versus Gunther again. There was no reason for it. They've been pushing the pedal down, but they didn't floor it. It needed and it's evident by this what Josh is alluding to because it's this lackluster WrestleMania build. Raw was a push down. Like, okay, finally, this was the first time probably. Not even just with the blood. This was the first time that I've probably said during this whole WrestleMania build, okay, I'm really excited about WrestleMania. And I was going. I have not cared about I was like, well, you know what? Because I'm like, well, because it was at one point, it was like, well, I'm glad I'm not going and because New Orleans is closer. New Orleans ain't nothing but 7 hours from me. So let me go to New Orleans next year for WrestleMania 42. I've been in New Orleans before, so it wouldn't be out of the norm. That's what I thought. But my issue is that AEW fans sometimes can be hypocrites because y'all get mad when WWE bleeds one time and they use it to mean something in the further a feud versus going on national television and during a fucking Domino's commercial using a box cutter and then using a pizza slicer and losing your advertising rights because you were too it doesn't make sense.
What I've always said is that the amount of blood that AEW does is as serious as a super kick in pro wrestling, as serious as a spear. It's so means nothing anymore. A spear means nothing. A super kick means nothing. Blood in AEW means nothing because there's nothing behind it. It's done for the sake of being done. What happened with Gunther and what he did to Jimmy Uso, it meant something. The fact that he wore his blood, he wore it on his body. And like you said, Jay was right there. Like he was fingertips away. And even to the little things like he was calling him John. He was using his shoot name. I don't know if you picked that up, but he was calling him John, not Jimmy. Those little things is what gave this the juice, no pun intended, that this match needed.
And let's also not forget that Gunther made him bleed from wrestling. Gunther is a wrestling machine. That's why nobody can believe that Jay can beat Gunther, because Gunther this is a different build than Sami Zayn, because Gunther is a wrestling machine. This dude is like a freaking cyborg in the ring. So the fact that he did that yes, it was because Jimmy hit the post or whatever, but he beat him down wrestling. He used a freaking sleeper hold to make it more effective.
I thought it was the best thing, the best segment Gunther has had his entire main roster run, even with the Intercontinental title, even with the stuff with Drew and Sheamus. I thought this was the best segment that Gunther has had on the main roster.
What's sad about it is I warned Bobby this when Gunther won it at SummerSlam. He was going to be pushed aside and pretty much an afterthought as on Raw due to the Judgment Day and Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest feud, Punk, McIntyre, now Punk Rollins, and this, that, and the other. It took till now, and his reign's probably ending at Mania too, till now for him to finally get like legit attention, legit heat, and people actually invested in a Gunther feud as world champion now. And it's going to be at the end of his reign.
It's because they nailed it on the head. Why are you making Gunther talk? How did Gunther get over? How did Gunther become so menacing? Gunther became menacing. Hold on a minute. I was going to answer the question. Gunther became menacing. You all right? You all right?
Yeah.
Sorry, my wife walked in. Gunther became menacing because of the fact that he was wrestling and was not doing interviews. He became champion and they stopped having him wrestle. And they wanted him to talk every week. That's not his strong suit. His strong suit is beating up the people that people like. That's what you do with Gunther. You make him wrestle. You don't make him world champion and then all of a sudden you just stop him from wrestling and you just have him do segments every week. It doesn't matter. It doesn't work like that.
And I also think it was a mistake having him have so much trouble with a lot of these guys. Like, he should not have had as much trouble as he did with Kozawa. He should have wiped the floor with Kozawa.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you struggling against Tozawa for?
It's so, I don't understand, like, some of the logic in the booking with stuff like that.
I don't get it. I'm trying to think. I don't think they've booked like a legitimate squash match in general since Triple H has taken over. Like, even the matches, like someone's supposed to like dominate this, that, and the other. It's always been somewhat competitive.
Yeah, it's that 50-50 booking.
But up until Monday, the Mania build in general was terrible. The Cena Rhodes one finally picked back up again. The Jey Uso Gunther finally means something. The women's one's still fucking terrible.
But I disagree though. Because there's one feud, and I can hear Shane's mouth now. There's one feud that they have been building right. They're building it with the wrong person.
You're talking about
Naomi,
right?
Yes, Naomi and Jade. Because whether y'all like her or not, I didn't know Naomi could act like this. Because if you remember her for Bad, Naomi I thought that we were gonna get the Naomi from the Bad years, where she was a heel, but she was basically a babyface playing a heel. This Naomi, like her interview last week and how she was tortured, she didn't even concentrate on Jade. Naomi literally concentrated on Bianca. That is where they fucked up. That was the match that they needed to see at WrestleMania. I get Jade's gonna get her revenge, but the money match was, but Naomi is killing it.
By far, last Friday's promo was Naomi's best of her career. This is so far the best she has looked character-wise. Also, sadly, she's probably losing at Mania if that is the Mania match they're rolling with.
I mean,
Against Jade.
they're going to want Jade on Mania. If Triple H is putting the time into Jade, I don't see how they're doing this not to have that match at WrestleMania.
They're gonna put her on Mania, and it goes back to AEW. What you said about, and this is what I wanted to say about AEW. They're gonna put Jade on Mania just because of the fact that they are of the mindset that anybody that they get from AEW, they are going to build them to make them a desirable destination for people to jump from AEW to WWE.
Where they messed up with Jade is that she should have pretty much went the Brian Pillman Jr. route more than anything. Because they had to delay her debut by like months because she quote unquote wasn't even close to being passable in ring. You saw at times during the tag team run with Bianca, she really didn't know what the fuck she was doing. And yeah, you kind of a little bit improving much in ring. Promo work's still decent, but I think she needed a run definitely in NXT, preferably the Lexus King run, or even Dragon Lee, where you're down there for like a few months and then you're up in the main roster.
You're just talking about training in NXT, not changing her whole name like they did with Pillman Jr.
No, I mean like because they pretty much restarted on Pillman. Like minus the change of name, but like a complete reset, like retrained from the jump, get her experience on TV to really develop to when you can move her up at like that Mania last year. Could have just moved her up. She's already ready. Then yeah, you probably don't have to do the tag run with Bianca where Bianca's pretty much lowering herself to a degree for an entire year so we can try and get Jade over.
The issue is though, is that there was no way to bring Jade into NXT. Because one thing, and I wish that she would have stayed in AEW longer. The one thing that AEW got right, now she may have been young in the ring, but Bianca was building a name for herself. And give credit where credit is due. I thought it was a bad idea at the time. That tag team match that she had with Shaq, where it was him and where it was her and where it was Cody Rhodes and Velvet versus Shaq and Bianca, that put big eyes on her. On top of that, she did not lose until she lost to Statlander, or who I forgot who she lost the TBS title to.
Yeah.
Statlander.
Till she lost the title to. And just her physique, just being completely transparent, her physique, her following on Instagram, bruh, she has a following. So her name coming into WWE was being caught. The difference between her and Pillman, her name was being like mainstream people were picking it up that she was jumping from AEW to WWE. That's the difference. So no, they're not. I see why they didn't put her on NXT. Because she aesthetically, when Triple H because Triple H, yes, as much as they are different, they're the same. When they're looking for a woman wrestler, they are looking for somebody aesthetically pleasing like Charlotte or somebody like Bianca. They are looking for somebody that is aesthetically pleasing. As long as you are aesthetically pleasing and you can do 50% of the work, the other 50% we can make up for and we can work around. And that's what they did. They gave her the tag team title run. It did two things. It showed people in AEW like, hey, we're not just going to treat you like another woman in WWE. You come here, we will build you. We're not just going to treat you like an afterthought. And she went to WWE. That was the first thing. The second thing was they put her under the learning tree of fucking Bianca. They put her out because I don't care what you say, because that match that she had against that I was worried. I was legit worried because the European fans will let you know if you cannot fucking wrestle. They will. That is pre-WrestleMania. That was a good barometer to test with. That match that she had against Liv Morgan on SmackDown, that was the best match that I have seen her in. And she did not look out of place. She didn't look like she was rehearsing what she was doing. Like it was like 1-2 move here. She did not look out of place at all. Regardless, you didn't know, you couldn't tell that, and I don't know if she's limited or not, but you could tell that she's been training. So
Yeah,
that's
she's been in the PC training before she came back on TV.
exactly. And that's why, to get on another subject, that's why Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, they didn't go to AEW. I guarantee you that them women went to that locker room, saw how them women were treated, and said, "Oh, no, I'm good. I'll take my chance in WWE."
You made a mention.
That's probably
You made me lose my. I had an idea, and you were going, and I forgot what I was going to say. To do with the Bianca and Jade, and I completely forgot it.
I'm curious in how they tie Bianca back into this.
Well, I think it all depends if
curious
Bianca
about
ends
that.
up winning the title or not. If she doesn't win the title at Mania, she goes back to SmackDown. Then you could continue the story.
Look, I don't know who the fuck won the title. All I know is Io's probably been.
I don't think that Bianca is gonna win at Mania. What I think is gonna happen, I think Naomi's gonna screw bait Bianca. I think Bianca is going to screw Naomi, and that's how they get back to Bianca and Naomi.
And then what do you do with Jade? Because then Jade's the odd person out on that.
You build her.
Yeah, I mean,
You build.
probably give her
what do you
Queen of
mean?
the
What do
Ring.
you do with that Jade?
I honestly think Bianca needs to go heel. I really do. I really feel that Bianca needs to be revealed as being the mastermind, and Naomi's doing the grunt work for her. Because it's been 4 years, and Bianca's doing the same thing. And to me, it just seems stale. And I think that's part of the reason why the European crowds were booing
I think
Bianca.
that's what.
Well, they both.
Yeah, they were
they're
booing
booing.
Bianca for weeks.
I mean, the fucking that whole triple threat feud, that's so bad.
Right, like just announce the match.
It's not good. The way they're gonna get to it makes no fucking sense. Rhea comes off looking like an idiot. Io's
Well,
just
most baby
there.
faces come off looking naive and like idiots
You
all
can
the time.
tell Io is only in the match because they wanted her on the Mania card. Because her placement in this story, it's mainly Bianca and Rhea.
That's true. And then they ruined a match between Bianca and Rhea.
Yeah, that's accurate, probably.
They ruined Bianca Rhea. That was your Mania match right now. There's your Mania match right there.
Like I said, when it was rumored to happen, that's a actual like legitimate main event caliber match. I wouldn't waste it on. If you're not going to make it the main event, I wouldn't waste it because that's the only match they have that you could justify the women main event in one of the nights of WrestleMania.
Maybe they're doing that because of Evolution 2, and they want to hold Rhea and Bianca until then.
I really hope they're not doing that one for Evolution 2.
Or Evolution 2, I should say.
Really hope. I feel like that would be a waste.
What would you main event there? That's pretty much the only thing. If you said it's on the caliber to main event or WrestleMania,
well, it's going to be a
I got
small
one.
enough arena because they're going. I think they're doing it at the Mohegan Sun. It's a rumor. You have Charlotte. I mean, you could probably do the Bianca Charlotte match finally. That feels like a spot to do that one in.
Mm-mm. I got a match that they probably could do.
What?
A good one would be Jade versus Charlotte.
I'd rather do that at SummerSlam.
I would rather. I wouldn't do it at SummerSlam.
Because Jade post Mania, it's either she's going after Chelsea Green for the US, or they're letting her win Queen of the Ring if they end up doing it.
I read there's
And
no
she's
Queen of the. I read they're
challenging
not doing one this year.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
There's only one. I read today that there's only one Saudi show this year. It's the end of June, and they're doing Clash of the Champions
I thought they were doing
or Night of Champions.
Crown Jewel in November, that yearly event.
I read that there's only going to be one.
Oh, that's brutal.
I think because Royal Rumble's in Saudi this year in January, so
Yeah.
I think that's why. I don't think they're going to go to Saudi in November and then back in January.
I wonder how that one's gonna work. Because you're not gonna have you lost Punk for Rumble. That's a guarantee. And how many females are actually going to board the plane to do the Rumble in Saudi Arabia?
All of them. They've been. They had how many women did they have the last one? They had like a ton.
They'll find
For the
them. They'll
Rumble
find.
and
They'll
for
find
Rumble.
that money. Money talks.
Yep.
And also,
Oh,
to be honest with you, I think Punk is a world champion by the end of the year. So they can only have 4 matches on the card anyway. So I think that Punk is a champion. But that's
the
why
Triple H Gold
that's
Medal.
why the rumor is, don't believe me, the rumor is that somebody else is gonna take the pin at WrestleMania. Like they're not, it's like CM Punk. There's apparently there's like a 0.01% chance that CM Punk is pinned at WrestleMania. Because they're trying to build him because he's going to feud for the championship, which makes sense because of how they're.
So who do you? Okay, so let's assume that Jey Uso wins the title from Gunther. How do you get from Jey to Punk? Who's that middle one? Because they're not going to turn Punk heel, and they're not turning Uso heel, and they're not
I
going to do a
think
babyface match.
I think there's a legit chance Punk could turn heel. If you're returning one of them heel, it's going to be Punk. For Jay, I assume he's going to win the title, and I think his first feud out the gate is going to be a heel Sami Zayn.
Who?
Here's the problem. Y'all are so concerned with who are they going to turn heel. You don't have to turn anybody heel. Ideally, yes. They will probably do that. But ideally, what you can do, you can build Jay, you can build CM Punk, and you start teasing them interacting with each other. Jey Uso having to prove himself against CM Punk because CM Punk is next level. He's not Gunther. He's going to get in your face and he's going to tell you to your face what he thinks of you. And just in a wrestling match, you do Jey Uso versus CM Punk.
Yeah, but the problem is, and I know this was a Vince McMahon philosophy, is you split the audience by having 2 baby faces, especially 2 baby faces that are as over as Jey and Punk are. You're completely splitting the audience then, and that's not something that they ever like to do. That's why it's always been booking 101 is a heel and a baby face.
That would be valid. That would be valid if they weren't doing Roman versus Seth versus CM Punk.
Yeah, but look, they're not Roman's, like I said to you a while ago, Roman's not a clear-cut white meat baby face. He's the same character he's always been. He's just now fully cheered. But his character hasn't changed. He's not kissing babies. He's still the same tribal chief character. Same thing with Seth. Seth's the babyface only when it comes to Punk. And because Punk is so over and so popular, automatically Seth's is the heel and doing heel things.
But who do you hate in this match? I'm prove everything you said was wrong. Who do you hate in this match?
Oh, no one's hated in the match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying still. I get what you're saying, but you see what I'm saying? Nobody's hated it. You don't hate anybody. And not in real life. I'm talking about like in wrestling.
I know what you meant.
You don't hate anybody.
Well,
there's
Punk's
no
hated.
reason to
in
hate.
real life, Punk's the one who's hated by everyone. So
right, but like in wrestling, there's no there's nobody that you hate. And I get what you're saying. Yeah, it splits but okay. It doesn't matter because what's a heel in the face nowadays anyway? Because everybody's so hip and smart to it. That doesn't you could have a heel. Like the dude with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is a full-blown heel, and the fucking dudes in the chat and in the group talking about that he wants him as world champion. See what I mean? Somebody's gonna cheer for them regardless.
I mean, we're now in a kind of era where like it doesn't matter if you're heel or babyface, you're always going to have a following behind you. But you also know how the WWE crowd is. If you have multiple like high-level baby faces, someone's getting booed out of it. You're seeing it in that Io, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair feud. Bianca's the one getting booed, even though Rhea's the one acting a little heelish. But Rhea is more over than Bianca, so Bianca's the one getting booed from people. When Roman and Rollins, two high-level baby faces, crowds more behind Roman than they are Rollins. The crowd in was it Spain was literally cheering when Roman said he was trying to kill Seth Rollins.
Was that Spain or was that this past week?
No. That was not the contract sign. It was the week before when they had the weekly pull away brawl.
Oh, okay.
And then you're seeing it this way. If Cena didn't turn, there's a good chance that crowd was going to turn on Cena before they turn on Cody.
Right.
So just know the audience. It's not like, and this is where I'll defend AEW. AEW don't care if you're a babyface or a heel. They'll cheer you if they like you or not. You saw it with MJF.
Yeah, but I think that's wrestling fans in general now, because even in WWE, everyone's got their at least one foot in that gray area, and the fans cheer for who they want to cheer and they boo who they want to boo. Like you said, they were booing Bianca. They'll cheer for Liv Morgan because for whatever reason. There is always that gray area now when it comes to wrestling fans. I don't think it's an AEW thing or a WWE thing. I think it's just how, because the wrestling fans are smart. They talk to these people on Twitter. It's different now because of social media.
Fans want to cheer. Fans, they want to. Everybody wants to be a smart fan, and I hate that term so much, but it's so true. Everybody wants to be a smart fan. Everybody wants to be ahead of the curve. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened with Becky. Becky was being booed. Becky, they tried so hard to turn Becky. Becky came out and shit on the fans and said, "You all are stupid," and the fans were like, "We are stupid." They could not turn that girl at that point to save her life. That's why it ended like after a couple of weeks. You cannot. They don't give a fuck about no heel or no face. I that old school book, and I get what they're doing. I get how they do it, but that doesn't have to. Back to all I'm saying. The only thing I'm saying is back to originally what I'm saying. They don't have to go back. They don't have to go back to that. They don't have to. There's no. You could do Jey Uso versus CM Punk at SummerSlam, and that would sell out.
Speaking of Punk, what do we think? What do we think the favor is?
He's gonna turn on. He's gonna
turn on Roman.
He's gonna turn on Roman.
You think he's gonna convince Paul to turn on Roman?
I think that's favor. But let me ask you this: has Roman outgrew the need of Paul Heyman? No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
He has.
Does that be the key thing?
He has.
Because we've had Roman Tribal Chief, but we haven't really seen Roman since he returned in COVID truly on his own. And in this scenario, he would be officially on his own going forward.
I almost feel like separating them would be similar to when they had Paul Bearer turn on The Undertaker. And it just seemed like it was just weird that it seemed like it hurt The Undertaker almost. But I also see it from your point of view that, you know, Roman has gotten to a level that he doesn't need a mouthpiece anymore.
He doesn't need. Y'all gonna say I'm biased because I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan. I don't care. We've seen it in glimpses where Roman has been without Paul Heyman, and Roman has gotten cheered. They were in Kansas City like 2 years ago, and Paul Heyman was not with him in that feud with Seth Rollins. That match that he had in Canada, I forgot where it was in Canada. I don't know if it was Money in the Bank or something. That nobody, he had nobody. He didn't have no Wise Man. He didn't have no Usos. I think that's when Solo debuted. He didn't have anybody. You do not have to change because let's. I'm just going to be honest with you. You don't necessarily have to get rid of Roman, and you don't have to get rid of Roman and Paul Heyman together. But at this point, it's like, but if they did, Roman is set.
But Punk
Roman is
doesn't need
set.
Paul either.
He doesn't. You're absolutely right. He doesn't. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. I think I could be wrong. I think I see him doing what everybody else. I mean, everybody's making too much into it. I think he's just gonna stay with Roman. I don't know. I don't know what the. I honestly think that the favor is going to be that he's going to ask Paul Heyman to screw Roman, and not necessarily turn on Roman, but he's going to ask Paul Heyman to screw Roman. That's legit what I can see happening. Not that he's turning on Roman, but he's like, you screw Roman and you help me win. But I also don't see that because I don't see them turning Punk heel because Punk is over. The last scenario I see, the actual person that I actually do see is him aligning himself with Seth Rollins. There's so like that's all I'm saying. There's so many scenarios that you can go with, but neither one of the three, they're all established. Neither one of the three, there doesn't necessarily have to be a heel turn on any of them. No heel turn with any of them. It could go this way or that. There's no wrong answer with any choice that you pick.
And none of them need Paul as a mouthpiece either. Because we've seen Roman. I mean, Paul's a great hype man. He sets Roman up, but once Roman has that mic, Roman cuts his promos. And compared to the big dog time, Roman's ridiculous. And when it comes to doing a promo now. And I will say this, and I know you'll be shocked, but Roman is underrated when it comes to promos.
He is. I'm not shocked. That line was gold. One man. What did he say? He said one man's WrestleMania is that sort of shit is the shit where I see where like that's huh?
One man's favorite. One man's
WrestleMania is another man's favorite check.
Yep.
Brandon, that not you, the other BT. Brandon, that's like Triple H comedy shit. Where you remember, I'll just right off the bat, Eric Bischoff, when Eric Bischoff was in charge of Raw, and he asked Triple H how he was feeling, and Triple H said, "I would say I feel like $1 million, but I wouldn't want to sell myself short." Never heard. That's like a Triple H one-liner. So the fact that Roman said it, that you're right, he's underrated.
Even during the contract thing, when Punk was going through the contract, he's like, "What do you highlight? You need a highlighter? You're highlighting things." I mean, that was off the cuff. That wasn't planned. That's just Roman being Joe.
Well, he does. That's just him.
Yeah.
And Jimmy and Jey Uso said that they like when he came back, like, oh shit, that's not Roman. That's Joe. But I mean, he's underrated. Yeah, absolutely, he's underrated. But you don't need Roman to turn into the white meat baby. You don't have to turn Roman into the white meat babyface.
With the exception of Cody, is there even a white meat babyface in WWE at this point?
Bianca.
Okay.
Bianca. That's why Bianca's getting booed, because Bianca is a white meat babyface.
Bianca and Jade.
As a matter of fact, when it was I follow Bianca on because Bianca posts on TikTok, and I don't know if you see it after Bianca does something. Bianca will go on TikTok, and Bianca is one of the few wrestlers that I've seen that Bianca will actually interact with the fans on TikTok. So after, because fans on TikTok were starting to turn on Bianca because they were, now we all know that this is scripted, but before they had revealed that Naomi was the attacker, people were like, Naomi. They were like, Bianca, we know it's you. In Bianca's comments, going, Bianca's, and this was just on dates with her husband. When it turned out that it was Naomi, Bianca turned around and said, and she let them have it. She's like, y'all really thought that was somebody like me? I'm not even wired like that. And she interacted back with the fans. And you could tell that was storyline, but but she interacted back with the fans. Like, Bianca has been, that's why people boo Bianca, because Bianca like I said, she has not lost at WrestleMania. If you want somebody to go back to and you need a quick plug a fucking star in, you put Bianca in.
I just feel that she's done as much as she could do right now as a babyface.
Oh, I totally agree. That's the same thing as confusing with the Street Profits. The Street Profits got a brand new theme, come out as heels, but they're fucking baby faces.
They've been literally interfering and costing title matches and doing heel stuff, and then they cut a babyface promo.
This is why I say Triple H's booking is so confusing, because I'm like, well, I thought that they were going to fucking be heels. I'm so confused.
That's why I said something. That's a couple last week on SmackDown when you were watching it from whatever country you were in last week, Brandon, and you were telling me, and I'm like, they're heels. They're heels. They got heel music. They're in all black right there. They're in all black. That's automatic heel. And you're like, no, they're cutting a babyface promo. I'm like, what do you mean? They were just cheating and costing people tag matches.
And then you watch SmackDown and you see what the fuck he's talking about, and it's like,
it's like what?
Like but it's new music, but they're doing the same shit.
They just dropped the only difference between their last babyface run and this one is that they dropped the cups.
Yeah.
But
I mean, a few weeks ago, when they returned, I think it was the Royal Rumble, they interfered, and then they had this pre-taped segment. That was like a heel, two guys who were heel. And then, like you said, they've been interfering in the matches, and now they're cutting babyface promos. So
they won the tag titles and became babyfaces.
Yeah. So what matches do you think we have left to be official for WrestleMania?
Naomi versus Bianca.
Jade.
Naomi versus Jade. I still think that they're going to do 2 fatal 4-way matches. I think that they're going to do Solo because of the fact that Solo attacked both. But I think they holding off on the Solo versus the Fatu. I think they're going to do a fatal 4-way. They're going to do Fatu versus Braun versus LA Knight versus Solo in a fatal 4-way match on Raw. I don't know what the fuck they're doing on Raw. I still think that I could see them plugging in doing Penta versus Braun versus versus Balor versus Dominic. So I still think there's 2 fatal 4-way matches. It's probably some. They finally started teasing fucking tag team matches with Theory and Waller versus the Viking, the War Raiders. And then I think that on SmackDown, I think because the Motor City Machine Guns fucking popped up again. Like after weeks of not being on TV, I think that they're going to do a multi-man match for the SmackDown tag team titles.
I always thought that was going to be a ladder match. The way they've been building it for the last few months with all the tag teams, I was expecting a 4 or 5 team ladder match.
I don't know if it's going to be one though. There's one of the things that keeps me pause on that is that Stand Delivered, they're doing a ladder match, and usually if NXT is doing one type of match the day before or day of, they usually don't copy it. So I don't know if they're getting a ladder. It might be a gauntlet match, for being honest, to justify a shorter card.
I mean, we already got 8 official matches.
Yeah, but it's 2 nights.
I know.
They're gonna do 7 matches both nights.
I think one of the nights will be shorter than the What night one will have the most matches. Night 2 will have the shorter matches, but the longer main event.
Last year, night 1 had 7 matches, and I think that, and then on night 2 only had 6 matches.
And that's funny because the main event of night 1 last year went 45 minutes, that tag match.
Well,
Rock's entrance took 40.
Like you're gonna say no to The Rock.
Dude, the Rock's entrance alone was 40 minutes. Motherfucker came out with a Brahma Bowl, fucking flame shit. His own title that he made Muhammad Ali's widow give him.
For no absolute reason whatsoever.
You know
And
what bothered
since he's
me?
retired. He hasn't even had the title at all.
You know what bothered me on Monday? Why was Cena laid out for so long because of one crossroads?
He's old.
He laid there for 20 minutes.
Why is Willow getting knocked out by a DDT and then he's being put in the broom closet trainer's room
Yeah, well,
on Dynamite?
yeah, and she tweeted, she's
Like,
like,
it makes no sense.
she tweeted today, I'm alive. I'm like, I would hope you're alive. It's a DDT. You've taken worse.
First
Oh my
off,
God,
let me
if
explain
that's-
something
dude,
to you.
Jake, if that's how it is, Jake Roberts would have killed someone back in the day.
I know. That
First-
the table spot she took would be put her in the training room more than the DDT.
But it's the okay. You're not too much now, because you know how I feel about Willow. I don't know if you know Brandon, the other BT, but I don't know. Listen,
Oh, Willow's amazing.
my Willow is amazing.
It's just sad.
That's
that
who
she's
keeps getting
transitioned
screwed.
Champion.
Willow is the one that keeps getting screwed.
Yeah, she won the title and then she got fed to freaking Mercedes. And don't get me started on that.
Got fed to Mercedes, and then they're dragging out this fucking one-on-one match with her and Marina Shafir. I'm like, dude, when are y'all fucking gonna fight? Are y'all dragging this out to All In? Because you were feuding with Marina Shafir when Cope was challenging for the title. You teamed up with Cope, and now you're teaming up with Swerve to take on Marina Shafir. Like, Moxley has moved on to another feud, and you're still feuding with the same woman.
They're trying to make Marina like China, a China-esque character, except she's got no skills.
No, okay, but I'm gonna tell you one thing.
No, she was good in the blood sport shit.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. If Tony Khan pulls the trigger on Sunday with one person, because I'm starting to get interested in AEW again. I kind of got away from it. But if Tony Khan pulls the fucking trigger on Megan Bain,
Sadly, isn't.
that will fucking be so fucking great.
You have to.
You have
Otherwise,
to.
you're not going to bury her in her first title match.
If Megan
Sure.
Bain beats Tony Storm, and not only beats Tony Storm, I mean literally beat the shit out of
Well,
her.
it should
And
be a 5-minute match.
it should, and Megan Bain should dominate.
She
Toni
needs to
Storm.
Brock Lesnar her and
Yes.
have her be Cena.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the sad part is, I don't think it's happening because you have their quote unquote money match for the women's division is literally right near the finish line for them. And
Yep.
that is Mercedes versus Tony Storm.
And that's going to be at All In because Mercedes is most likely going to win the Owen, get the title
She is
match.
separate.
I don't
First time
understand
breaking the
why. She looks so fucking ridiculous. She's not that. Listen,
She's gonna have all the titles.
she has like 6 or 7, and I'm like, dude, I don't watch AEW for you. If you left AEW tomorrow, I would not miss you. Like, I would be more upset if Willow like left and if Willow was somewhere else. I would follow Willow over fucking Mercedes.
Yeah, get
Mercedes
ready
is
for it.
not good. She's not that good in the ring. She botches, nails on a blackboard when she cuts a promo. It's just so ridiculous, and they're just.
Get ready for it.
I know she's gonna get
Yeah,
that.
every title.
I know she's
Every
gonna
women's
have it.
title in AEW.
I don't think she is.
I don't
I
think
don't.
she's losing to TBS. I think their goal is to get her to pass Jade's mark.
Yeah, but let's say
That's
she
the
wins
one
it
for the
in
hands
July.
down.
Is she gonna hold both titles?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or are
Why
they
not?
gonna
Why not? She fucking got 7 right now.
No, she got like 18 titles on her.
She got like 18
right?
titles.
But I'm
What do
saying
you-
like they just pulled North American off Stephanie.
That's in WWE,
Yeah,
man.
that's WWE doing logic. If that's, I don't even think that's logic. I think Stephanie should have lost last week, if that was the case.
I just don't think they wanted her losing a match so fast
No.
after winning the title.
They did right because you don't exactly.
You could have made it a
what
triple
Brandon
threat
said.
and then had one of the other participants get pinned 1, 2, 3, and there you go. There's your way
No.
out of the title. without
Should have done it
making
like in
a triple threat.
2000 with the way they did Angle, Benoit, and Jericho to get all the titles off Angle, and Angle didn't lose the match at all.
No. 2000.
Yeah,
What a
no,
great
they're
year.
not. It's just like I don't think Swerve's winning on
Swerve is not winning. We're
Sunday.
waiting. Swerve's not winning. We're waiting for Darby.
their money match, unless Darby's the wild card, which I don't think he's gonna be.
We're waiting for Darby.
Their other money match is legitimately just straight ahead, and that's Moxley versus Ospreay.
Moxley versus Darby.
Darby is going to be on Mount Everest on April 15th. I don't know how he's going to be the wild card. It doesn't make sense. It's impossible. He can't be in two places at once.
How do you know? Have you ever seen him in 2 places at once?
Touche.
Fine. If they pull
Yeah, that's my thing. That's why I'm
trigger
hesitant.
on, if they pull the trigger on Will Ospreay, if they,
I think regardless, Moxley's losing it at all.
I think to Will Ospreay. If they
That should be
don't, if they
Ospreay.
do put Ospreay in the match, and he fucking loses, oh, it's going to Darby. There's
Oh,
nobody
yeah, they're waiting
left.
for Darby, but it should be Ospreay because that is the perfect guy to legitimately build the company around. Someone that can talk decently, he can go in the ring, and literally most people don't really have a bad thing to really say about him. He always delivers in every feud he's been in since he's joined AEW.
But they can't get him past Don Callis for the last 2 fucking years.
They just moved on. That feud just ended.
Thank God. I know. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna go right back to it eventually.
Now, what the hell you're doing with Don Callis and his people? Who knows? But
What the hell are
Well,
they
now
doing
Brian
about it?
Cage is out. Brian Cage, they were going to go for the tag titles. Now Brian Cage got injured.
yeah, why? Yeah, there's a lot of people dropping like flies right now in AEW.
Can we talk about Brian Keith having the body of Little Bow Wow and the face of Ice Cube?
I mean, you're not ready for the Brian Keefe and Big Bill versus the Hurt Syndicate? This
No, they
Sunday?
look ridiculous, honestly.
They might as well just get Enzo at this point and at least put them back together. That makes more
Please.
sense.
Because Big Bill still can't talk. Like, why are you
think
making him
Enzo's
be the
too
one that
good.
talks? That man still
Enzo's
get
too
to his
hated for
life.
people
Can
to
my
talk.
name is Big B. Okay, bro. I gotta fast forward when you talk. Okay, bro, we get it.
I think that's one of the worst wrestling names out there right now. Big Bill.
Yeah, they have 9 matches set for what the hell Dynasty this Sunday as of right now.
They'll probably add 3 more on the 0 hour.
The
Oh,
Costco
forgot.
boys
Fuck.
ain't got a match.
No. Matches are Moxley Swerve, Tony versus Bane, Omega, Ricochet, and Speedball Mike Bailey for
Well,
the
let's do
international title.
predictions while you're doing that.
Okay. Swerve Moxley, might as well just kick off with that.
I don't know. I still feel Swerve might pull it off. What was the point of him admitting that he was wrong, the Hangman?
to get them to become friends. That's the dumbest. Wait a minute. So did we just become friends?
Yeah,
That's what I wanted to talk about. That's the dumbest. Wait a minute. Did we just become friends? Yep. That I've ever seen in my life.
What's wrong with Hangman? I like Hangman. Someone below me does not. But you already done Hangman, and you're still kind of transitioning Hangman back to his old self. So you're still telling that story to a degree. With Osprey, it's been nothing but hits. So might as well just give him the run. And I feel like Hangman's probably getting Moxley at Double or Nothing.
What if Hangman costs Moxley the match? This way you can move away from Swerve, from the world title, and then them two could do their program.
No.
I still don't. I still don't see them having Moxley drop the title before All In.
And what's the next match on that they have for Sunday?
Tony Storm versus Megan Bayne.
Well, we spoke about it should be Megan Bayne, but it's most likely going to be Tony Storm.
It'll be Tony. Omega, Ricochet, and Speedball Mike Bailey.
It's going to be it's Omega because they're going Okada Omega at All In to combine the titles.
It's going to be Omega there.
Kenny Omega.
You got Death Riders versus Rated FTR.
Death Riders easily.
Yeah, because it's gonna be FTR turning on Cope.
Yeah, I don't know why it's gonna set up to FTR versus Cope and Christian at All In. It feels like.
How would you feel if it was the other way around? Everyone's expecting FTR to turn. What if it's Cope turning, which makes more sense for him to get with Christian?
I feel like that'd be the best scenario, but like they're already heavily teasing Dax Harwood just fucking snapping.
But then you're breaking FTR up. Either FTR turns, then there's how you getting Cope to Christian because you're not going to put Christian as a babyface again.
Let me tell you
He's
something.
too
I
old.
will never call that man fucking Cope. His name is either Edge or Adam Copeland. Cope is the dumbest name.
Cope.
Well, it's just his last name short.
I don't care. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Cope.
I mean, he really didn't have much options.
Dude.
Like, what did he really have? Because he couldn't use Edge.
Yet they have it on his shirt.
Not like with Christian, where you could legitimately just add a random last name and you're good. Like, he was kind of fucked.
It doesn't. It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue.
It's either call yourself Adam Copeland or call yourself Cope.
Dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. But anyways, what was the FTR is gonna? I actually am hoping that FTR breaks up. I think that would be a bigger shock. I know it's not going to happen, but FTR breaks up. But yeah, they're definitely somebody's going to turn on somebody.
I don't think you can break up FTR because that tag division, which was once a major strength for them, is fucking terrible.
It's worse. It's almost as bad as the Raw tag division.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you who's in the Raw tag division besides New Day.
Wait a minute, the tag team division is stronger than it's ever been.
On Raw?
No, on AEW.
No, it's terrible.
It's not. We got Big Bill and Brian Keith.
Literally, that's why it's terrible. Where's Private Party?
They got beat by Big Bill and Brian Keith.
Why haven't they gotten a rematch?
They got beat by Big Bill and Brian Keith.
Okay, if you want to talk about that, where the hell's Mariah May? She hasn't been seen in a month.
I mean, she just got her ass whooped.
Yeah, she just got like stabbed a month ago.
Like, what the fuck? Like Brandon's one of those people. He's like, where the hell is Mariah May? I just almost died. I don't give a fuck. Get your ass back in the ring.
They both almost
Get
died.
the shit punched out of her with glass, and
Like,
this
I'm
dude's like,
so-
"Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup."
Like, right. It's just a flesh wound.
It's wrestling.
That's fucking
And they're back in,
branding.
in 2 weeks. But
Bruh.
AEW's never been about getting those rematches, and very rarely do they do like once a champion loses a title, they're going to go right after the person goes right after the title again. It's a very rare
Starting to look
occasion.
it's starting to look like breaking up the Acclaim was kind of a bad idea.
I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why.
The tag
they did
division is
that.
terrible in both of them. One hasn't been seen since the breakup, and the other one's losing every match.
Which is the gimmick.
It's not good.
And
There's a
what's
lot
his
of things-
face?
There's a lot of things that are just not good, and we just watch it just to fucking escape reality. Okay.
The next match is title versus mask for the ROH Championship. Jericho versus Bandito.
Obviously, Bandito's going to win it. I don't think he's going to unmask.
Bandito.
So much for that streaming deal.
And 1999 called Jericho. They want his gimmick back, where he's taking masks off luchadors.
Listen.
What if he does win?
Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me at all.
I'm a fucking
'Cause,
laugh.
like, look at this card. Usually, there's a couple new champions they do on pay-per-view cards. I don't know. A lot of these matches look like champion could legitimately retain. The only one that's like questionable, I think, is the TNT one, the ROH one.
No.
I don't get why you're going to have the ROH title change hands on an AEW pay-per-view when you have your ROH
Right,
show
I
next
know.
month.
Same reason that Athena
Jericho don't want to work.
is the ROH Women's Champion, and she's in the fucking Owen Hart Cup.
I fucking hate they're wasting that Mercedes Athena match for a semifinals of this tournament.
I hate the fact that Mercedes. We already know Mercedes is gonna win the match, and
Yeah.
fucking the tournament hasn't even started yet.
Both brackets are very predictable. The only thing that like gives the men's side like a little bit of unpredictability is who the wild card's going to be.
Darby.
Would you agree on paper this is the weakest AEW pay-per-view in a long time?
No. Worst built one, yeah. I thought the Dynasty 2 years ago, not Dynasty 2 years ago, World's End, the one where they did MJF or Samoa Joe. That was weak and a fucking terrible event. Next match, Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole for the TNT Championship.
Cole has to win it at this point, right?
I don't know. I just hope you don't get a concussion.
Otherwise, what are you doing with Cole? Cole's done if he doesn't win at this point.
I think you got to give it to Cole here. Even though Daniel Garcia is like finally, once again, just like we talked about with Gunther, you finally have a champion that's heating up a little bit, and this is where you're going to take the title off him.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't been keeping up with Daniel Garcia because I don't watch Collision.
No one watches Collision. What's the next fucking match here? Hurt Syndicate versus the Learning Tree. Thank you, Ray. Next
There you
match.
go. We know who's eating the pin on that one.
MJF is
Bill.
gonna help.
Yeah, I'm not interested in MJF with this Hurt Syndicate or
It's
wherever the hell that's going to end up
It's
being.
the Owen Hart. It's the Owen Hart with the Nation.
I know, but Owen Hart was funny.
And didn't we do MJF trying to like squeeze his way into a group before 5 years ago with the Inner Circle?
Yeah, the Inner Circle. And then it
No,
became
he tried to-
he had the Pinnacle.
Yeah, that went far.
I don't know. It gave us the damn sing off or whatever.
One of the worst moments in MJF's career. That is also pinpoint exactly in time of Chris Jericho's decline.
You still cheer?
See,
for
I
him?
could go to this thing, and there's nothing about it that excites me that makes me want to go.
Every match is pretty much almost predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you
I don't know
go.
what you
You
do.
just
And
go
then
to
the
have
next two
fun.
matches are very fucking predictable. Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight and Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart.
Kevin Knight's gonna win.
Kevin Knight's not winning.
He's not beating Osprey.
I know. I'm being facetious.
That's probably going to be the match of the night, but Ospreay's going to win.
Julia Hart's gonna win.
Julia Hart should win, but she's losing.
Okay, she's gonna lose.
The Hellhounds, where the hell they're called now, ever since Black left, they've all pretty much made it to big matches just to get their ass kicked.
Who won last night? I didn't watch the match. Who won last night between Brody King and Lance Archer?
King, I think. I think it was King.
Another guy, Lance Archer, can't get it together.
Oh, it's going to get hurt again. That's a legit chance. Fletcher should have a title. No,
Shane,
unless it's an ROH.
Shane, to go back to your question earlier, because you, I wanted to get this in real fast before I forget about it. You asked the question, what's next for Paul Heyman? Who's Paul Heyman to manage? Apparently, they are thinking about putting Julia with Paul Heyman and making her the first Paul Heyman girl.
I mean, yeah, her English isn't good.
Huh?
Yeah, in the words of Shane, your English ain't good.
I mean, Shane
But
looks at
no,
breasts.
honestly,
Shane looks at breasts and be like, "Ooh."
Yeah, Shane's not a fan of women.
honestly, he doesn't need it because he can talk, because he has it in his blood. But I think Braun
Who?
Breaker would be a good fit for Paul Heyman.
No,
You don't think Breaker would be a good fit?
no. That's like putting Ryback with Paul Heyman for what?
Well, Ryback
That's
needed
different. Ryback sucked.
Exactly, but I'm not talking about as far as
Braun
like.
Breaker is a legit.
I'm not
future.
talking about like skill level. I'm talking about the same type, the same mode, the smasher, like a Braun Breaker or a Ryback. That there's no need for it.
I wouldn't put Ryback and Braun Breaker like the same category.
I
I
am
think
not
Ryback's-
talking about skill level. I am just talking
No,
about
I mean
the same
like they're
build.
tight. I think Ryback's close to the fucking Braun Strowman build wise. Where they really only know how to do like 3 things, and that's all smash.
I mean, I know Julia's hurt, but is this gonna be a way to bring her up right away?
I'm not. I think
Yeah.
this was long term. I saw somewhere where this was like long term and not like, but they were thinking about like putting Paul Heyman with Julia. So I don't know. I mean, I mean, she's either gonna be that or she gonna be a faux egg roll when she gets.
So let's go this. Who's getting called up? You know, the week after WrestleMania. We know Roxanne will be official.
Trick.
He's in the main event though. You think they're
Don't
gonna
matter.
have him be in the main event and then just automatically go?
Yeah.
I think it has to be Trick. Ethan Page.
Ethan Page is not getting caught up. Not yet.
No, not yet.
I don't think he's gonna lose to Ricky Starks. I don't know what the hell is left for him there. He's already won the main title.
Okay, so
Unless you
let's
turn
just
him
go with that.
babyface.
Where would you put Ethan? Where would he fit on the main roster?
That's the issue. There's a
Yeah.
lot of these people you don't know where. I don't know where you're putting Trick.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Like, it's too much talent right now.
It's loaded.
There's
you're
also
not gonna-
talent they're not even using.
Yeah, you're not gonna bring everybody up. They don't
And
fucking
on
even
top of
use
that, they
Carmelo
still have to
Hayes.
figure out where to fit Ray Phoenix, who's coming in. They still got to figure out where to fit Aleister Black, who's coming back in, and Rusev, who's not coming back in.
I'm going to assume Rusev's going to go to Raw because you got Black and Phoenix already on SmackDown.
I put Rusev on NXT, for being honest. Since Evolve is pretty much the new developmental.
Well, I
There's
take it
NXT a
into
buzz.
single A and triple A. Evolve is like that single A. Then you get up to triple A, which is NXT. And then you get to the big show.
I don't
Metaphor gets
even.
what tag division? There's really no tag division. Every women's tag team, they end up either
Shane,
breaking
I got
them
a
up
question for
or
you.
releasing one of the teams.
Shane, do the metaphor belong on AEW Dark?
Notice he said that. This is off topic. Patrick said that.
It
and
wasn't.
now Alicia
It was.
Taylor's the
It was
voice of
American Shane that.
WWE.
It was American Shane that said that, not Canadian Patrick.
The voice
No,
of
that's the
WWE
point.
now.
That's the point. I was trying to see where do the metaphor.
Work with. I wouldn't put metaphor up.
And honestly, I think they're gonna do more with TNA right now. I think a lot of these are gonna stay down because of the crossover with TNA.
Cora Jade is.
The metaphor is over. Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend are over there with TNA now too.
No, they're gonna call
Honestly,
them up. They were teasing calling
Cora
them up a
doesn't-
few months ago.
If Cora's not going to win the North American Championship at this point, I think you might as well just call her up and put her with Roxanne as a heater.
I would.
You could almost make them almost like a female version of KO and Sammy.
Yeah, because like, what is really there to do with Cora Jade if you're not having her win the North American title at Stand and Deliver? Because it looks pretty clear Jordan Grace is probably winning the NXT Women's title at Mania, and Fakira's probably going up afterwards.
What if she loses?
Jordan Grace, the loser of that match is most likely going up. I think.
Jordan Grace is going up.
Yeah, that is a Triple H type.
What was the point of it? There was no point even bringing her NXT for 3 weeks. Just to
Yeah,
bring her up.
she was, but
Get
they had
the-
already
get
said
the
that she wasn't going to be in
return match
NXT long anyway.
Get that match out of the way. She's familiar. She's already familiar with the NXT audience.
Yeah.
So
Jordan trademarked the Juggernaut, so she actually owns that.
yeah. Wonder when she's gonna get CFO'd or where the hell that their music band's called up there now.
Oh, Def Rebel.
'Cause I don't think she's keeping that TNA theme all the way up to the main roster.
I mean, that's what happened to the Street Profits.
So that happened to AJ Styles for a hot minute.
And AJ's like, no, that's not going to work for me. I need my theme back.
They tried to do it to Randy Orton.
What they had like a different version of voices, right?
Yep. It's gonna be interesting post-Mania what they're doing. You still got the draft that's coming up too, which is probably gonna be useless again.
They're going to have to cut people. There's just no room.
They just did. And there's room. They just, for some reason, they just ignoring a shit ton of the divisions.
Like you said, they're
Because-
bringing Phoenix in. So you're having
Bring
Phoenix.
in.
You're going to do a thing with Andrade.
Yeah, and you've good chance post draft you're probably putting Phoenix and Penta together.
I don't
That's
think they're going
right.
to do that yet.
I feel like their tag division needs it.
Especially if Penta's going to win the Intercontinental title, which I feel he is at Mania.
I don't know why I think Dom's winning at Mania. Just to build that shit with the Judgment Day and Finn.
Apollo's
Damien
injured right
Priest
now, so
winning the
he's
world
going to
title.
survive the cuts again.
Apollo. I like Apollo. Don't shit on Apollo. The Nigerian prince.
What about Oba?
He's going to be
I
down
don't
there
know
for a
what
while.
they do with him. I think Oba's winning that Stand and Deliver.
Oba's going to be champ
like-
for a while.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting what they do for who's going up, who's most likely gone. What about Omos?
He should have stayed in Japan. They made him drop the title, that tag title in Japan for the Royal Rumble, and he hasn't been on TV since.
That's a guy I think they're just waiting for his contract to expire. He's supposed to be the rival to Saddamson. It's just brutal. You got anything else, Robert?
No, I don't.
We don't. Okay. So, are we back next week? Or are we a once a month thing? Robert.
You make the decision. My schedule's free on Thursdays.
I could do next
I
Thursday.
guess- All right. I guess we back next Thursday. Week after, we won't be back the Thursday after WrestleMania. That will probably end up being a Tuesday show.
All right.
Josh, we missed you. Bobby missed you.
I didn't.
Bobby loves you.
I had peace. You know, before we cut the show, put Brandon up there.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
I said put Brandon up there. The real Brandon.
I am the real Brandon.
The real Brandon.
I'm talking about me. I'm the real Brandon.
Perfect. So I used to have a question that I would ask people.
Oh boy, I know where you're going.
I used to have a question that I would ask people. So I just want your honest opinion because we don't have weekly guests. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to ask this question again. Put them up there,
I'm
Brandon.
sorry,
I
my
don't-
friend Duffy's currently in Abu Dhabi.
He's in Abu Dhabi,
Wrestling for the
Oshkosh,
Prince.
Wisconsin. Put him up there. Where is Brandon?
He's right here.
Put the other Brandon up there. Because we
Which
know
one?
it's
I'm confused.
you, the other BT. Sunny as she is now, would you or wouldn't you?
I would not.
Damn.
Why?
I think that's a given.
No.
Like he's asking why. I think that's a given.
Bobby
Next
and
week.
Josh are best friends.
Mm,
Best buddies.
he's
Yes,
a tribalist.
Next week is post Dynasty. We don't know when the hell we'll be back with the Duffy BT and Bobby wrestling show. I guess that's when our friend Duffy comes back from Saudi Arabia.
Probably never. He's big time.
Dude, he's headlining WrestleMania in a few weeks. Not WrestleMania, Wale Mania.
I thought he was headlining WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Ooh, he shit on you, Duffy.
This man shit on you. All right, are we done?
Guess we got an answer for someone else's Sonny, would you?
See, he said, "Oh hell yeah, I know he would." See,
Maybe next week we'll get other people to join us live. Turn this into a fight. Watch BT get himself canceled.
you're dragging.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
literally dragging it for
dragging.
time.
I'm dragging the guests to 135. Not
No,
gonna
you
fall.
are. Quit dragging. You do that shit all the time. Quit fucking dragging and just end the fucking stream.
It's okay. We also don't have an outro, so say bye, Bobby.
Bye, Bobby.